Hello guys, in this video we will look at the time data validation. The time data validation is very similar to the date data validation, except that now we are dealing with the time. Let's say, for example, we want to apply the time data validation to this particular cell. Let me add some color to it. Now let me go to data validation, data validation and settings, and here on the drop down I'm going to pick time. Similar to the date, we also have this data drop down enable. From here you can pick the option that is more appropriate for you depending on your project. For the demo purposes, I'm going to pick between. Now we need to enter start time and end time. Now for the start time, let's say I want to do 8 a.m. and for the end time I want to do 5 p.m. so I'm going to enter 1700 hours, and then I'm going to go to input message and say reminder. So enter a time between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Enter. I'm going to say OK. So now you can see, once the user goes to the cell, you get a nice little reminder that helps the user to enter the right value. Let me see 8 a.m. Error. 8 a.m. it was supposed to accept the value, but I see an error. Now that's not because of the time, it's more because of the way I entered it. 8 a.m. is supposed to be entered as 8 space a.m. and that is 8 a.m. But if we do 8 a.m., that is considered as a text with 8 a.m. but not time. So that's the reason why you see an error. The 8 space a.m. that works. If I go past 5 p.m., if I do 5, that's an error. So it will validate the time and make sure you enter a value between that particular time range that we provided. Anything outside, of course, it throws an error. Now let me show you another way to validate. Same thing, but instead of us giving the values here manually, let me say I have start, end. Let's say start is 9 a.m. and the end is 4 p.m. Now I want to use these fields to supply the start and end time to this particular cell for the data validation, of course. Go to data validation, and here instead of entering the time, I want to use this and refer to this particular cell and hit enter. It's equal to L3. The next one is going to be L4. Sorry, this is L3. And next one will be L4. So I can do equal to L4. Do OK. Now, because we already had the value, we are not seeing any issue, but we can always do this. It's invalid data. Clear circles, and now if I do 10 a.m., it works. 9 a.m. it works. But if I change this to 10 a.m., so now the start time is 10 a.m. and the end time is 4 p.m. Now this will become invalid because the range has changed, because now we are actually controlling the data validation using these cells, not by the direct values. So now I can do 10:30 a.m. But now if let's say we'll change to 11 a.m. now this will be invalid data. So you can obviously supply the data that can be used in validation from other fields using references. Well, that's it about the time data validation, and you know what, I will see you in the next video.